Saturday morning, time to test the razor that I honed yesterday evening. Time to use the Mad Bird on a Dragon soap. It's the Ariana and Evans Kaizen. I'm going to do the usual pre-shave, which courtesy of Dapper Shaves, of Jacques, which is the poor man's pre-shave, the average man's pre-shave, which is slap a bit of this on while preparing to lather up. Anyway, I'm rather excited because I'm going to spend a large part of my day skating on the beach, and I want to smell nice. So using this, which has got a lovely aroma, it's this strange sweet smell. It's rather like walking into a candy store, as you would say in America, sweet shop as we'd say in England. Talking of differences, it's going to be 19 degrees centigrade promised for this afternoon on the beach. I don't like centigrade. It's an industrial scale. It's used for melting steel. It's not a human scale. 66 degrees, which is 19 degrees centigrade. 66 degrees Fahrenheit I can comprehend. 70 degrees I can really comprehend. 19, no, sorry, don't get it. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick lather up with this rather nice, very refreshing, very scented, sweet scented Ariana and Evans Kaizen. I'd like to just explain a couple of little points of what I'm doing wrong. One was I was trying to do a sharpness test using little packing peanuts, and I've got the wrong type, which figures, knowing my luck. I would say they're not very successful when it comes to trying to regulate and to measure your early stages of honing. For the final stage where you're actually stropping your razor, yeah, they're absolutely fine. I've no argument with that at all. All you do is just press the blade against or into, push it into the packing peanut to ascertain its degree of sharpness. But when it comes to actually going from stage one all the way through from bevel set, nah, I don't like them at all. However, I'm prepared to learn. So I need a small supply of different types of expanded polystyrene. Let me give you an example of what I'm rabbiting on about before we start the shave. This is the little beast. This is a very cute, very unusual razor. This is a DORKO. It's a DORKO, I'm pretty certain, from the 1930s. It's a DORKO register on it. It's the 300. It's a DORKO 300. It's around about a 5/8. It's got a lovely gold panel saying DORKO on it. Nicely machined spine. But the fact that it goes in and out of this purpose-made holder is very clever. It can drain because there's no end to it. I wouldn't advise it. It's going to rust like hell otherwise. Most people don't realise after you've shaved, you've got to use one of these. You've got to use a pipe cleaner to make sure there's no water trapped in any way inside the scales. Anyway, let me just stop for a second and show you what I mean by expanded polystyrene. There is a small block of expanded polystyrene, which if you take a modestly sharp finished razor, as you can see, it does just about sink in. Here's a packing peanut from yesterday. This is the only one I've got. And nah, not very good really, but it does sink in, sort of. Yeah, that's better. But then I have used this one a few times. Yeah, for a final test, that's fine. I'll agree 100% with that. But I found on the earlier stages on your stones, not very good. Anyway, enough of me rabbiting on. Let me show you what I'm going to use as well. So that is on a Welsh slate. That's on a dragon's tongue. Only the second time I've ever attempted to use a Welsh slate. I used it first with a slurry on the normal light slurry, just with water, and then I put glycerine on, and it felt a lot better with glycerine. I would rate the Welsh slates as being relatively coarse compared with the Italian slate, which is slightly better. Here's a nice big Sheffield razor. This is a E.M. Dickinson Sheffield, and that one, as a comparison, is on a coticule edge. And last but not least, if I've got time and you can bear with me, here is a rather nice Puma. And this one is on a very nice jnat edge. I would say when it comes to honing up relatively unknown stones, like for me, the Welsh slate, you've got to be prepared to put the same amount of work in, but you've got to strop them harder. So I found after a reasonable amount of stropping, it would pass hanging hair test perfectly well. So before that, no. So I think what you're doing is, by stropping properly, I'm talking about at least 50 laps on the canvas and 50 laps on leather, maybe as much as 80, you refine the edge from being a little bit coarse under a scope. It did look a little bit grainy and not quite as good on a hanging hair test as I'd like. Big test for me with hanging hair tests is, I'm just going to re-wet my brush. The big test is, will it cut the hair both directions? Almost anything will cut the hair in one direction, but to cut the hair very cleanly with a satisfying ping in both directions of the hair usually means you've got a very good edge. And that does take a little bit of work. But you can take a damaged edged razor like this one, which has a nice big flat and a slight nick on the edge. You can have that to shave ready in 20 minutes. So, you don't need to be all zen and go ding dong ding with rice bowls and sticks of incense. You can actually redeem a failed edge quite quickly. Main trick I've found is if it's only a minor fault, 3K is fine. If it's a big old nick, then you've got to do obviously all the way down. Anyway, here we go. This is the DORKO on a Welsh dragon's tongue. Yeah, it's good. I'll be damned. I say I'd be damned because it was about 25, 26, I think the maximum with postage, about 30 quid for a Welsh dragon's tongue from the factory in a nice box. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. What am I doing buying expensive stones? My cat's meowing, my friend the cat. No, I've no complaints, that is good. First pass, I don't know, good 2 days of stubble. Really, really comfortable. That is a success. So, I take it all back. A cheap Welsh dragon's tongue with sufficient stropping on a good blade. This is a DORKO, remember. Very, very good. Let's compare to this fine fellow. This is an old Puma 89. I'm going to do the other side. And this one is on a jnat. And I think it will be very good. Yeah. But the little DORKO is as good. So there's a £300 plus jnat stone on a very high grade razor. They're both high grade. This obviously is, I'd say, the equivalent of the DORKO, but a bigger blade. And last but not least, just for a very quick experiment, chaps, very, very quick, let's try this E.M. Dickinson Sheffield. And this one is in fact on a, I think I'm right in saying this was not lapped to death either. This is, excuse me, the cat's driving me. Shut up! Sorry, a cat wants to go out. Yeah, this one is on a coticule edge. No, it's nicer. It's nicer. Bearing in mind different steel though. This is Sheffield steel, the other two are German steel, but they're all the same period. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Nothing wrong with that. Slightly different size blade, very slightly bigger blade. But yeah, let's go back and do a second pass. And this time I'm going to use our freshly honed little baby DORKO. Lather up for a second pass. And then, chaps, I won't bother you with this tedium any longer. My friend is driving down from Woking in Surrey. Shut up! From Woking in Surrey, and we'll be hopefully meeting on the seafront in about 40 minutes time. And hopefully later in the afternoon, others will join us. Andre, Lewis, the ladies, hopefully. Anyway, haha! Isn't this pretty? I've never seen another like it. Little DORKO. Yeah. This is on the Welsh slate. On a second pass, it's all right. Second pass is a good test. Let's now try going back to its German cousin. This is, of course, my Puma 89. This is on a jnat edge. Very slightly more refined. I would say the jnat is very slightly better. Though, this is just a quick shave. I'll make this a very, very quick shave. But it still begs the question why anybody would use anything other than a straight razor, which gives a very superior shave. And is manly like. Oh, that's very, very nice. Yep. So, I wouldn't like to say which is the better. I would say at the moment I'd still give it to the number 89 Puma on a jnat edge. It's a good test. It's a good test. Anyway, as I say, my apologies. Look at that. Ugh. My apologies to those who love the peanut packing test. I'm not anti it in any way. It's just I don't have sufficient experience with the peanut packing material. And the piece that I've got, the two pieces that you've just seen, are no good at all. So I would say, unless someone's going to supply me with an endless amount of fine packing peanuts, I'm going to stick with my baby tomatoes. However, I hope I just proved a point. When your edge is absolutely right and it's been stropped and it's perfect, it will pierce effortlessly into almost any of the packing peanuts. But that for me isn't good enough. Sorry. Anyway, let's just wash this off. Of course, the cat wants to go out. I want to go skating. This isn't a perfect shave, but it was very, very pleasant, as all straight razor shaves are. So that's that. I'll put a tiny bit of the Ariana and Evans back on my face, courtesy of Jacques, which is the Dapper Shaves method. Yeah, it feels good actually. Very nice aroma, very sweet aroma, very much, as I said before. It looks a bit odd. Looks like a dog's done a mess in the bowl, but it smells nice. and it's quite kind, but I wanted to smell a little bit nicer today because I'm going out strutting my stuff on the seafront. On with the splash, Ariana and Evans Kaizen splash. So I really do pong nicely. As usual, no sting, no problem. If you know what you're doing with a straight razor, you'll never have a sting. You'll very rarely have any little weepers either. And I'm using today 3 different sizes of blade, all of which were very, very nice. Anyway, chat, I'll leave you in peace. Thanks for subscribing. I'm always doing tests. That's what I'm about, Martin shave tests. Peace, and see you all soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.